What if your dying best friend left you one final message that proved the person sleeping next to you every night was planning to kill you? Picture this. I'm Alex Thompson, sitting in a sterile hospital room, holding my best friend Marcus Hale's hand as the machines beep slower and slower. Marcus had fought cancer with everything he had. Chemo, experimental treatments, the works. He was a guy who dragged me through college hangovers, stood as my best man at my wedding, and never once let me down. More than a friend, he was family. In those last days, he looked at me with those tired eyes and whispered, "Promise me you'll protect yourself, Alex, no matter what." I thought he was talking about grief, about moving on after he was gone. I had no idea he was warning me about something far darker. 1 month later, almost the day, his lawyer called me into the office. The place smelled like old paper and bad decisions. He didn't waste time with small talk. He slid a small black USB drive across the desk and said very clearly, "Marcus had one rule for you. Watch this alone. Do not tell your wife, Emily." My stomach dropped. Why the secrecy? Emily had been devastated too. She cried at the funeral, held my hand through the nights I couldn't sleep. She was grieving just like me, or so I thought. I took the drive home, heart pounding. That night, I locked myself in my office, while Emily was downstairs watching TV. I plugged it in, clicked play, and Marcus's face filled the screen. Pale, weak, but his eyes burned with urgency. What he said next made my blood freeze. It wasn't goodbye. It was proof. Proof that shattered my entire life and stopped me from becoming the next victim. This isn't just some crazy story. It's a warning. The kind of secret that hides in plain sight in the person you trust most. And trust me, once you hear what was on that video, you'll never look at your own relationships the same way again. But what Marcus revealed in those first few seconds, it was only the beginning. The real horror was still coming. Marcus's face on that screen was the first punch to the gut. But let me take you back to how we even got there, because the signs were there if I bothered to look. Have you ever had that one friend who felt more like a brother than blood ever could? That was Marcus Hale. We met freshman year of college, bonded over terrible dorm food and worse study habits. He was a guy who talked me out of dropping out, who showed up at 3 a.m. when my first real breakup hit. Years later, when I married Emily, Marcus was right there in the front row, grinning like he'd won the lottery. "She's the one, man," he told me. "Treat her right." Then the cancer came. Aggressive. Stage 4 before anyone even knew it was there. Marcus fought like hell. Chemo that left him vomiting for days. Experimental drugs that made his hair fall out in clumps. Hospital stays that stretched into weeks. I was there every chance I got. Emily, too, at first. She'd bring soup, sit by his bed, hold his hand when I stepped out for coffee. But toward the end, something shifted. Marcus started getting quiet around her. Not angry, guarded. One night, after a particularly rough round of treatment, he pulled me close while Emily was in the hallway talking to a nurse. His voice was barely a whisper. "Trust your gut, Alex. Always, even when it hurts." I laughed it off. Grief talking, right? Cancer messing with his head. I promised I'd look after Emily if the worst happened. He just stared at me, eyes glassy but sharp. "Protect yourself," he repeated. "No matter what." I didn't understand then. He passed on a rainy Tuesday. Funeral was small, just family and a handful of us who'd known him forever. Emily cried hard, big, heaving sobs that made my chest ache. She leaned on me the whole time. I thought we were grieving together. Fast forward 1 month. The lawyer's office felt colder than the hospital ever did. Mr. Reynolds, Marcus's attorney for years, didn't smile. He just placed that small black USB drive on the desk, like it was made of glass. "Marcus recorded this for you specifically," he said. He was very clear. "Watch it alone. Do not show it to Emily. Do not discuss it with her. Not a word." My mouth went dry. "Why?" He only shook his head. He said you'd understand when you saw it. I left with the drive burning a hole in my pocket. Drove home in silence. Emily was in the kitchen when I walked in, humming while she chopped vegetables for dinner. She smiled that same warm smile she'd given me for 8 years. "Hey, babe, how'd it go?" "Fine," I lied. "Just paperwork." That night she fell asleep early. I waited until the house was dead quiet, locked my office door, plugged the drive into my laptop, clicked play. Marcus appeared, thinner than I'd ever seen him, sitting in what looked like his hospital bed, but his voice was steady, fierce. "Alex, if you're watching this, I'm gone. And there's something you need to know before it's too late." My heart slammed against my ribs. He leaned closer to the camera. "Emily isn't who you think she is. Emily isn't who you think she is." Those 6 words hit harder than any chemo report Marcus ever got. I froze, staring at his pixelated face on my laptop screen. The room felt 10 degrees colder. My best friend, dead for a month, was looking straight through the camera, straight at me, like he knew I'd be sitting there alone in the dark. He didn't waste time. "Alex, listen carefully." I didn't want to believe it either, but I saw things, heard things, and once I started looking, I couldn't unsee them. Marcus leaned in closer, his voice dropping to a harsh whisper even though no one else could hear. "Last year, right after we got the bad scan results, Emily started asking questions. Casual at first. 'How much life insurance do you have, babe? What if something happens to you? Would I be okay?' I thought she was scared. Practical. But then the questions got specific. Poison. Accidental. Overdoses. Ways to make it look natural." He paused, took a shaky breath. I started recording. Audio only at first. Phone calls she'd taken in the other room. Late night texts she deleted right after sending. One night, I heard her on the balcony, voice low. "It's progressing faster than we thought. If we wait too long, the policy might not pay out clean." There was someone on the other end. A man. I couldn't make out his voice clearly, but she laughed. That same laugh she uses when she's nervous. Or lying. My stomach twisted. I remember that laugh. She'd use it when a mechanic quoted too high for car repairs. When the neighbor complained about our dog. When I asked why she was up at 2 a.m. scrolling through her phone. Marcus kept going. I confronted her. Subtly, asked if she was okay, if the stress was getting to her. She smiled, kissed my cheek, said, "I'm just worried about Alex." But her eyes, they were cold, calculating. That's when I knew. She wasn't grieving me. She was accelerating things. He coughed once, wet, painful. Even on video, it hurt to hear. I dug deeper. Found browser history on the guest's laptop. She thought I'd never use. Searches for untraceable poisons. Insulin overdose symptoms. How long before life insurance payout after suspicious death? And the big one, a new policy taken out in your name 6 months ago. Double indemnity for accidental death. Beneficiary? Her. I felt sick. Literally. I had to pause the video, lean over the trash can, dry heave. Emily, the woman who cried in my arms at his funeral, was researching how to kill me? When I hit play again, Marcus's expression had hardened. "I tried to warn you without scaring you off. Those last weeks in the hospital, I kept hoping you'd see it. The way she hovered when the nurses adjusted my four. The mistakes with my meds that never quite added up. I think she was testing, practicing. On me." He looked directly into the lens. "But Alex, I'm not the only target. You're next, and she's not working alone." My hands were shaking so bad the trackpad wouldn't register. "There's more evidence. Hidden. But before I tell you where, you need to understand how deep this goes. She's not working alone." Those words echoed in my skull like a gunshot. I sat there in the dark office, laptop screen glowing on my face, replaying the last 30 seconds of Marcus's video over and over. My wife, my Emily, plotting with someone else. Someone who laughed with her on late-night calls. Someone helping her plan my death. I wanted to storm downstairs, shake her awake, scream, "What the hell is this?" But Marcus's voice cut through the rage in my head. "Don't confront her yet. Not until you have everything. She'll deny, cry, turn it around on you. Get proof first." So I did what any terrified husband would do at 1 a.m. I started hunting. First stop, our shared laptop in the living room, the one she used for online shopping and Pinterest boards. I opened the browser in private mode. Stupid, I know, but muscle memory. History was clean. Too clean. She always cleared it. But I remembered Marcus mentioning the guest laptop in the spare room, the one we barely used. I crept down the hallway, like a thief in my own house. Emily's soft breathing came from a bedroom. I shut the spare room door, powered on the old machine. Password was still our wedding date. Of course it was. Browser history from the last 6 months. Jackpot. Searches for ricin symptoms onset time. How to stage heart attack with potassium chloride. Life insurance claim denial reasons. Forum threads on dark corners of the internet. People trading tips like recipes. One bookmark folder labeled recipes that wasn't food. Inside, PDFs on toxicology, insurance law summaries, even a spreadsheet tracking our joint accounts. My hands shook as I scrolled. Then the bank app. I logged in, same password. Because why change what works? Recent transactions. Cash withdrawals. $800 here. $1,200 there. Places I didn't recognize. A payment to Consulting Services, LLC, that sounded fake even on paper. And a wire transfer to an account number I didn't know. I snapped photos with my phone. Evidence. Real time-stamped evidence. But the worst came when I checked her email, logged in on the browser, auto-saved credentials. Buried in a folder called Work Notes were messages to someone named Jay. Short, coded, but clear enough. Test batch worked on the old man. Faster than expected. Need to adjust dosage for A. Can have suspicion. Once it's done, half now, half after payout. Jay replied once. Patience. Timing has to be perfect. I sat back, chest tight. Marcus hadn't just suspected. He'd been right. And worse, he'd been the guinea pig. Emily speeding up his death. Practicing on him before coming for me. I thought of our life together. The way she'd surprise me with coffee in bed. The vacations we planned. The future we talked about. All of it felt like a performance now. A long con. Have you ever felt your entire reality crack open? Like the floor drops and there's nothing underneath? I wasn't done yet. Marcus had said there was more. Hidden proof. Coordinates. Literal GPS points he whispered at the end of the video. Check the attic. Behind the insulation. Small metal box. Everything you need is there. I glanced at the ceiling. Attic access right above me. But before I could move, I heard footsteps in the hallway. Soft, bare feet on hardwood. Emily. Footsteps. Right outside the door. I killed the laptop screen in one frantic slap. Heart hammering so loud, I swore she could hear it through the wood. The spare room went pitch black. I held my breath, back pressed against the wall like some guilty teenager. The knob turned. Slow. Testing. Then Emily's voice soft and sleepy. Alex, you in there? I swallowed, forced calm into my voice. Yeah, babe. Just couldn't sleep. Looking for an old photo album. A pause. Too long. Okay, come back to bed soon. It's cold without you. The door eased shut. Footsteps retreated down the hall. I waited 5 full minutes before moving. Every creak in the house felt like a warning shot. Back to the attic. I pulled down the ladder, climbed up quietly. Flashlight from my phone the only light. Dust. Boxes. Old Christmas decorations. Behind the pink insulation bat. Exactly where Marcus said. A small metal lockbox. No lock. Just trust. Inside, a flash drive labeled backup. A folded note in Marcus's handwriting. Alex, if you found this, you listened. Good. This has the full audio files. Timestamps. Everything the police will need. But more important, the video has one last segment. Watch it now. Alone. Then decide. I didn't wait. Slipped back to my office. Locked the door again. Plugged in the backup drive. The new file autoplayed. Marcus again. But this time he looked worse. Skin gray. Breathing labored. This was recorded days before he died. Alex, I didn't tell you the full truth earlier. She didn't just plan. She acted. On me. He held up a small vial. Clear liquid. Potassium chloride. She swapped it into my 4-drip one night when a nurse stepped out. Thought I was asleep. I wasn't. I felt it burn. Slowed my heart just enough to make the doctors think it was natural progression. She sped it up, wanted me gone faster, so the focus could shift to you. He coughed, winced, but I recorded her. Right after. She thought I was out. She called him. Jay said, "It's done. He won't last a week." Then she cried. Fake tears. Practicing. The screen showed grainy phone footage. Emily in the hospital hallway. Phone to ear, voice low but clear. "Yeah, he's weaker now. Should be over soon." Then we moved to phase 2. She wiped her eyes. Perfect performance. Marcus's face returned. I couldn't stop her. Too weak. But I could warn you. This box has copies of everything. Take it to the police. Tonight, if you have to. Don't wait. She's already started on you. Remember those flu symptoms last month? The nausea? That wasn't stress. That was testing smaller doses. My recent headaches. The dizziness I blamed on grief. He looked straight at me one last time. You have the proof now. You have a choice. Run. Or end this. But whatever you do, don't let her see you sweat. She reads fear like a book. The video ended. I sat there, numb. The house silent, except for the clock ticking. Downstairs, Emily was probably asleep. Or pretending to be. I had everything. Audio, video, bank records. The vial in the box. Sealed, labeled. But confronting her meant walking into a trap she might have already set. One wrong move, and I might not walk out. One wrong move, and I might not walk out. That thought looped in my head as I sat in the dark. The metal box opened on my desk like Pandora's gift. Everything Marcus left me, audio files, the vial, the note, was right there, undeniable, final. I couldn't wait until morning. Every second felt like borrowed time. I copied everything to a new drive, hid the originals in my car trunk under the spare tire. Then I did the hardest thing I've ever done. I walked into our bedroom like nothing had changed. Emily stirred when I slid under the covers. She rolled toward me, sleepy smile in place. "Everything okay?" "Yeah," I said, voice steady. "Just thinking about Marcus." She reached for my hand. I let her take it. Her skin felt cold now, foreign. The next day, I acted normal. Coffee, work emails, a kiss goodbye when she left for her errands. The second her car pulled out, I called the police non-emergency line. Explained I had evidence of attempted murder, mine and Marcus's. They sent 2 detectives over within the hour. I played them the videos. The audio showed the bank records, the searches, the vial. Their faces went from skeptical to stone-cold serious. They asked me to wear a wire that evening. Set up in the living room. I agreed. When Emily came home, I waited until dinner. Casual, normal. Then I said it. "I know what you did to Marcus." Her fork froze halfway to her mouth. Eyes wide. Then the mask cracked. "What are you talking about?" I didn't yell. Just calm. The potassium. The insurance. The calls with Jay. She laughed, nervous, sharp. "You're grieving. You're not thinking straight." I pulled out my phone. Played the hallway clip. Her voice. Clear. "It's done. He won't last a week." Her face drained of color. She stood up so fast the chair tipped. "You spied on me?" "No. Marcus did. Before he died. He knew. He recorded everything. And he made sure I'd find it." Tears now. Real ones? Fake? Didn't matter. She lunged for the phone. I stepped back. The detectives burst through the front door right on cue. They read her rights. Cuffed her. She looked at me the whole time, pleading, then furious, then broken. "I loved you," she whispered as they let her out. I didn't answer. The investigation wrapped fast. Toxicology on Marcus confirmed high potassium levels. Ruled suspicious death now. Emily confessed within days. Said it started as fantasy talk with her lover, Jay, a guy she'd met online. Turned real when the money looked good. She sped up Marcus's end to clear the path for me, then started small doses on me. Headaches, nausea, the flu that wasn't. She got life. Jay got 25 years. That USB didn't just expose a killer. It saved my life, just like Marcus promised in his final days. Looking back, the deepest betrayals come from the people who know you best, the ones who smile while they sharpen the knife. Trust your instincts, even when your heart screams otherwise. Marcus protected me when he couldn't protect himself. That's real friendship, the kind that reaches beyond the grave. If this story shook you, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want more real-life warnings wrapped in stories like this. Drop in the comments. Have you ever ignored a gut feeling about someone close? What happened? Turn on notifications. Next one might hit even closer to home. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there.